When I was 19 years old, I was in a situation that I found myself in where I had hit my rock bottom in life. I was not saved. I grew up in a pretty broken home. And because of that, or as a result of that, I ended up in jail and looking at a prison sentence with a double A felony drug selling charge, and had hit my lowest point in my life. I was kicked out of high school for selling narcotics next to a school. I was looking at a double A felony, like I'd said, and was really struggling with finding meaning and purpose in life. And as a result of that, I had turned to all sorts of things. Leading up to that point, I turned to drugs and alcohol and sex. And none of those things I had found for me to be fulfilling. And it wasn't until I had spent about 2 months in jail and I opened the Bible for the first time, and I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I read the Gospels for the first time in my life. I just had this encounter, this radical encounter with Jesus. I started to read about the life of Jesus and the teachings of Jesus and the miracles of him, and I started to see within his story, within his pages, the very pages that I was reading was my own story. I started to see that everything that he did on the cross, everything that he claimed to come to do for the people in the Bible, for the people that I'd heard about over and over in my life, he did for me. And in that moment, everything was pushed aside. The prison sentence was pushed aside. The depression, the guilt, the shame I had inside of myself was gone. And in a moment, in an instant, I had encountered Jesus and just experienced his grace and his radical love for me. And after this point, I ended up getting saved, radically saved, and gave my life to Christ. And he showed me over and over again how much he was for me and how much he cared for me. And he brought people into my life and orchestrated all these circumstances to ensure that I would stay on the path that he had set for me. He enabled me to go to Teen Challenge, where I was able to graduate, and after that go to Bible college and graduate from there too, and being called into full-time ministry, and just used all these people in my life to really show me and shape me, who I am today. And I say all these things just to proclaim the excellencies of Christ and to help all of you guys see that I'm just a sinner saved by grace, and his story is my story. And my name is Josh Freilich, and yeah, he's saved me with his love.